Gifts of the Universe Guided Meditation. You will need for this meditation a small pebble or stone and a coin. To begin, sit comfortably and relax. Sit holding the stone and coin loosely, one in each hand. There's no need to grip them tightly, but just be aware they are there. Now relax your shoulders and gently close your eyes, for you're going to take a journey deep into a secret forest. It's known as the temple forest, and if you listen carefully, you will hear the rhythmic note of the temple bell echoing in the distance. You're going to walk deep into this forest, following the continuous flow of a winding stream, so you're not likely to get lost. This isn't a dark forest. It's full of sunlight dappling the ground, with spotlights of colour as it filters through the branches of the tall trees, and birds are singing, multitudes of birds flying and nesting in the canopy of green overhead. They seem to be very tame, some of them even courageous enough to perch briefly on your shoulder, as if welcoming you to this place of enchantment and peace. Onwards you walk, feeling the coolness of a dancing breeze in your hair, and the warmth of the sun on your face. Everywhere is rich and vibrant in colour, alive with the sparkle of life. You are not alone. If you peer to the right through the trees, you will see a fleeting glimpse of a timid deer, eyeing you cautiously from a distance. You'll have to be quick, or you'll miss it. And then there are other creatures too. Some you see, and some that won't show themselves, but you know they're there, watching solemnly from out of the silent shadows. The stream winds onwards by our side. Its banks are steep and rich with lush grass and wild flowers. Red poppies are dotted everywhere, and tall blue long-stemmed cornflowers. You may pick them if you want. Everything is magical, everything is free here, and there is plenty of time. So take your time. As you wander, you come across a number of large flat stones. They're right by the water's edge and surrounded by moss. The marble greenness looks so inviting. You kick off your shoes and relish in the soft feel of dampness, before sitting down on the stones and dangling your feet in the cool, rippling water. Breathe deeply and smell the fresh sweetness of the air. Look overhead and watch the sparkling sunlight filter through the rustling trees, and see the birds flying to and fro, in and out of the dappling light. Look down the rippling stream, and if you're lucky, you might even see a darting dragonfly, its wings ablaze with colour, or the wispy stripes of a minnow as it curves its way through the clear waters beneath. Look around you. Everywhere there is life. Everywhere there is beauty and harmony. And if you wonder how it's possible to remain so still and peaceful, it's because you're sitting in the midst of nature. All nature's creatures respond to the natural rhythm of the universe, to the sun, the wind, the seasons, the natural process of time, to the energy of life. They have a knack that somehow we humans seem to have forgotten. We often find ourselves walking out of time with nature, struggling upstream instead of allowing the gentle flow to carry us along. For instance, how well do you think you adapt to change? How many things do you doggedly cling on to when it's time to let them go? A bird will fight for the protection of its nest, but when the season changes, it will leave the nest to fly to sunnier climes. It exchanges its original security for something better, and it instinctively knows when to stay and when to go. It knows. It knows as all nature knows. It knows what it needs. Do you know? In your mind's eye now, look down at the two items you hold in your hands. Feel them with the tips of your fingers. Feel the texture and their shape. These items represent two different things. The stone is the treasure of nature, and the coin is the treasure of humankind. Which of these two items do you feel is most important to you? If you were told that one represented money and possessions, and the other the fruits of the earth, which would you honestly choose? Do you really know what you want? Which of these two things do you actually need? The dictionary tells us that want means desire or wish. When we want something, we desire or wish for it. Need is something different. It's something we require, more like a necessity. So which of these two things do you actually want, and which do you really need? Is it possessions that money can buy, or is it the free abundance that nature's paradise can give? Which do you want? Which do you need? When we think about it seriously, it's a hard choice to make. And yet in real terms, we don't have to make that choice. We can have both. We can have anything we want, provided we are truly aware of the difference between what we want and what we really need. So let us for a moment examine the difference between the stone and the coin. So what is the real difference? They're both curved in shape, both solid, both smooth to the touch, but there is something else that maybe we don't really understand, for they are both aspects of energy. You see, just as warmth is the energy of fire, and a windmill is driven by the energy of air, so the stone and the coin are the energy of earth. Everything in the universe is energy. It just comes in different shapes and sizes, and money is just the same energy, but very tightly packed together so it seems solid. When we buy something, we are just exchanging one energy for another. Money for a possession. You have paid money for this visualization, the energy of earth for the energy of thought. Think about that. So you see, there really is no difference between the stone and the coin. It's just the way we look at them that makes them seem different. And, all according to our attitude, we can spend much of our lives clinging frantically onto energy we don't even want, or need for that matter. Think about electricity for a moment. Electricity is energy, and although we use it, we know it doesn't belong to us. We don't own it. It belongs to the universe, just as all energy belongs to the universe. Yet many of us cling frantically onto possessions as if it's our own personal right to own them forever, without realizing they are only really on loan. We may be in possession of them all our life, but we can't take them with us when we die. Remember what we have been told. Often we cling on to other things too, like pain, hatred, resentment, anxiety. Why do we do this when we, like a bird, can just let go of all the things we don't want or need? We have the power to exchange them for peace, love, contentment, happiness if we really want to. Fair exchange is no robbery, but we have to learn how to let go, or there won't be space to accommodate new, nicer things in our mind or our lives. Look down again now at the ever-running stream flowing before you. Watch how it continues to keep moving, exchanging one ripple for another, moving with the natural flow of nature. Think about your life in association with all these things. How much do you really want happiness? How much do you really need to enjoy your life? What value do you place on money? What does it give you? And what price are you prepared to pay in exchange for it? Yes, even money has its price. Everything has its price. Think. Think of all the things that you have in your possession right now. They don't have to be physical things. They can be attitudes that you have, beliefs, fears, superstitions, principles. Just take a few moments in this peaceful place, by the stream, sorting out exactly what it is you need to keep and what you want to let go of. As you decide to discard something, imagine yourself throwing it into the flowing stream. Watch it float away, dancing on the sparkling ripples. Someone else might even need it more than you, even sorrow, even pain, for each of these, if handled correctly, are springboards to understanding and growth. Take a few minutes now to wade a few paces into the stream and seat yourself on a rock close by the bank. Feel the strength of the current as it sways around your legs, and listen to the power of its continuous movement flowing ever onwards undeterred by stone or crevice on its journey to the sea. Sit in peace, silence and contentment, and see just how easy it is to let go of all the things that no longer harmonize with your life. Let them go. It is time now to start to return to your normal surroundings. Wade carefully back to the bank and climb once again onto the mossy slope, gathering up your shoes as you go. Carry them home, as the grass pathway is lush and green, soft and invigorating to the feet. Just before you return, look back once more at the items you have discarded, and watch them bobbing and floating down the cascading water. How easily they move away, or perhaps they don't. This tells you something of how easy you find it is that you can let them go. Think about your values, and particularly what value you put on yourself. What you keep in your possession reflects the value you put on yourself. Above all, be glad about what you have let go, for what is now rubbish to you may be a golden gift to somebody else. Don't deny them that gift if they choose to pick it up. Even misery can be polished up to uncover joy. Sometimes it's only the tarnish of old habits that need removing, and that way all things will eventually be cleansed and transmuted before they return to the universe that gave them birth. Birth, adjustment, and rebirth is the way of the universe. The air is fresh and clean. Take a deep breath and smell its fragrance as you start to return through the leafy avenues of trees on your pathway home. Relish in the gentle twitter of the birds and the mellow note of the temple bell as it echoes in the distance. Relish in your luck at being given this chance to experience life on earth, enthroned in the midst of nature as we are. Learn to appreciate and experience it. Feel again the two items you hold in your hands. Both are the gems of earth. Both hold their place in the world in which we live. Both are precious, but both are gifts of the universe, only on loan. Gradually the forest dissolves around you, and you find yourself once again on the chair, sitting quietly in your room. When you return to your normal surroundings, take the coin and place it in your purse. While it remains there, you will never be able to say again that you have no money. Keep the stone too in a special place to remind you of the power and wonder of nature, and remember that the universe is part of all of us and will provide for all our needs. Remember also that if you really want something, if you really desire it, then you won't count the cost.